Welcome back. Look all around Middle Georgia now. It's dark. The Christmas lights are on in downtown Macon right now. And it's going to be a chilly night, but definitely not as cold as the past couple have been. We're staying above freezing this time around. That wind has shifted to out of the southwest to bring in some warmer air, but nothing to really track yet. If we're going to have any rain chances, they will be during the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. 56 was our high in Macon today. That is, what, 7 warmer than we got to yesterday. I believe we topped off at 49. Still 8 below the average, 64 and 21. Guys, we are a degree above the record in regards to that. We did not tie the record last night, but got colder than I expected. I was actually trending the other way with my lows. I initially went 22 Monday night, then went 24 last night for this morning. We ended up getting down to 21 anyways. So a little different tonight because our low temperature is A, above freezing, and B, not when it usually is. Typically it's around sunrise. This time around, it's near midnight. Warm front, wind out of the southwest, brings temperatures back to the mid 40s as we head out the door tomorrow morning. So it will not be the low of 40 when you wake up, but that's going to be around midnight tonight. Couple spots should get below 40 degrees, but the wind out of the southwest is slowly bringing in warmer air. Here are those lows around the region. It looks like the chillier spots are going to be those of us in the southeastern counties, and that's likely because the cloud cover is arriving from the northwest first. So it's starting to creep in a little bit. It's still been very thin up to this point, but when it comes to these rain chances with this front, I am not very bullish on them at all. Now, we still might get 1 or 2 showers. I think that's fair game. The problem is we've had one day with the wind out of the southwest to bring in this warm and moist air. You need more than just one day of that, all right? We got to get return flow. You got to return the moisture to the atmosphere after a cold front comes in. We'll be very, very dry to end this work week. More high pressure heads this way as we get into Saturday. And of course, once that passes through, the wind will reverse direction again, much like it did ahead of today. But over the weekend and next week, we do think that the wind will stay out of the south a little longer, which gives you more return flow. But let's go ahead and talk tonight, right? These clouds are coming in as we go through supper time. It is going to be a mostly cloudy night, and as mentioned, right around that midnight mark, 11 to about midnight, is when we will see our low temperatures. After that, it's rebounding. You see these rain chances very, very spotty, very, very light. Most of us are not going to see rain. I was at 10%. There is a chance that none of us get rain tonight, but vast majority of us are not going to be dealing with that. We have the door tomorrow, and it's going to be a cool day because it's going to be gloomy. A lot of cloud cover, the wind shifting back to the northwest as we get into lunchtime, and we don't really start to see this breaking up until we get into almost the evening, right? We might get a little sun in the northern counties. Those of us further south, by the time this clearing happens, the sun has already set, and of course, lows are going to plunge back into the mid-20s again. May have to drip the faucets again in some of the northern spots before we have another day on Friday that's very similar to what we had yesterday. We'll check out your extended forecast in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. So 10% rain odds. I can't 100% rule it out, but most of us are not going to be dealing with that. When you want legit rain odds, you have to look at next week because we get that wind to reverse direction on Saturday. You see the gradual increase of the lows, which indicates, hey, we got more moisture, we got more heat as we move into next week, and that will lead to some decent rain odds.